Welcome to this Study Legal English sleep story, where you'll relax and gently drift into a peaceful sleep while passively learning about the fascinating world of corporate law. Remember that Study Legal English sleep stories are not legal advice and are instead here to help you learn legal English passively while you fall asleep. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. It helps me grow my channel and helps me to know what content to produce. So now close your eyes, settle in, and let your mind unwind. Get comfy, take a deep breath, and let the gentle pace of this narrative ease you into sleep as we explore the world of corporate law. Understanding corporate law. Corporate law, also known as company law, is the legal practice area focusing on companies, from their formation and restructuring to mergers and acquisitions, and the many aspects of governance and regulation. At its core, corporate law regulates how corporations, their directors and shareholders interact. It deals with everything from public listings to private equity-financed transactions, and it's essential for companies aiming to maintain legal compliance and streamline their operations. Corporate law is significant everywhere, but what about in the United Kingdom? The UK's regulatory framework includes laws like the Companies Act 2006, which governs corporate governance, directors' duties, and shareholder rights. The corporate governance framework combines statutory regulations, listing rules, and guidance from the UK Corporate Governance Code, making it comprehensive and complex. In recent years, environmental, social, and governance factors, also known as ESG factors, have also become central to corporate governance. For instance, UK companies are increasingly required to consider sustainability and ethical conduct, which impacts everything from disclosure requirements to boardroom policies. What corporate lawyers do. Corporate lawyers provide advice and services to businesses, guiding them through mergers, acquisitions, and restructuring. They also advise on governance practices. A major part of their work involves acting as advisors for corporate transactions. Corporate lawyers help draft agreements, conduct due diligence to verify the accuracy of information, and ensure their clients comply with all regulatory obligations. During a merger or acquisition, for example, the lawyer's role begins with due diligence, an investigation of the target company's financials, legal obligations, and assets to ensure there are no hidden liabilities. Lawyers then negotiate contracts and agreements, often coordinating with financial advisors and executives. Every stage requires a high level of attention to detail, confidentiality, and adherence to legal standards, especially in competitive situations where there are multiple bidders who could be involved. Corporate lawyers also handle regulatory compliance. In the UK, this includes ensuring companies meet listing requirements, file accurate annual reports, and follow shareholder rights rules. By working closely with clients, corporate lawyers support both routine and strategic decisions, ultimately aiming to help businesses grow while remaining legally compliant. Skills required to succeed in corporate law. To be a successful corporate lawyer, certain skills are indispensable. A corporate lawyer must be knowledgeable in business law. Corporate lawyers must understand the laws and regulations in various jurisdictions to advise clients effectively, particularly in cross-border transactions. They must be detail-oriented and analytical. Corporate lawyers need to evaluate complex information, identify risks, and foresee potential issues. They must also be skilled in negotiation and communication. Corporate lawyers negotiate deals. They explain legal complexities, and they communicate clearly with clients, which is all essential. They must be collaborative and team-focused. Corporate lawyers often work with other legal specialists, like tax or intellectual property lawyers, making teamwork vital. And finally, they must be commercially aware. They must have commercial awareness. Given that corporate law often intertwines with business objectives, lawyers need to have commercial awareness to provide relevant, actionable business solutions to real legal problems. In addition to these skills, corporate lawyers must maintain strong professional relationships. Building rapport with clients and colleagues ensures smoother transactions, especially when managing intricate deals with multiple stakeholders. Corporate law in the UK, a closer look. In the UK, corporate law is heavily influenced by legislation and governance codes. One of the main regulatory frameworks is the Companies Act of 2006, which outlines directors' duties, shareholder rights, and company operations. For listed companies, compliance with the UK Corporate Governance Code is crucial. The code promotes best practices and requires companies to provide transparency and accountability to their shareholders. Public listed companies in the UK, especially those on the London Stock Exchange, must adhere to strict corporate governance standards set by the Financial Conduct Authority, the FCA. For example, the FCA's listing rules obligate listed companies to disclose financial performance and corporate strategies in order to be transparent. Additionally, the comply or explain approach allows companies to either follow the code or explain their deviations, providing flexibility while at the same time upholding governance standards. Client challenges in corporate law. Clients in the corporate world face a range of challenges. Common issues include regulatory compliance, shareholder activism, M&A complexities, and sustainability and ESG compliance. Let's look at each one of these. regulatory compliance. With evolving rules around transparency and corporate social responsibility, or CSR, businesses must frequently update their policies to stay compliant. Let's look now at shareholder activism. In recent years, shareholders have become more active, pushing for changes in corporate strategies, governance, and sustainability. Let's turn to M&A complexities. Mergers and acquisitions bring a host of challenges, from antitrust regulations to managing cross-border transactions. And finally, sustainability and ESG compliance. Companies face increasing pressure to adopt environmentally and socially responsible practices, impacting governance and operational strategies. For corporate lawyers, supporting clients means addressing these challenges with creative problem-solving and a proactive approach. Legal solutions often include a mix of strategic planning, risk management, and stakeholder engagement to help clients navigate these corporate hurdles. Trends and future directions in corporate law. Corporate law is evolving, with significant trends reshaping the landscape. Some of the current and future trends include ESG and sustainability reporting, where the demand for ESG compliance and transparency has grown. It's been growing over the years, and it continues to grow even today. The UK has introduced mandatory climate-related disclosures for large companies, and it aims to strengthen sustainability reporting standards even further. Technology and cyber security risk. As companies adopt new technologies, cybersecurity has become a priority in corporate governance. Lawyers increasingly advise on data protection, cyber risks, and digital compliance. Reforms in corporate transparency. The UK government has introduced the Economic Crime and Corporate Transparency Act, focusing on reducing financial crime through improved transparency. Companies are now subject to enhanced disclosure requirements, especially in areas related to beneficial ownership and financial disclosures. Increased focus on diversity and inclusion. Corporate governance frameworks encourage diversity, aiming for more gender-balanced and ethnically diverse boards. Diversity requirements are now incorporated into listing rules, promoting inclusive governance practices. Corporate lawyers must stay informed of these trends to provide current, relevant advice to their clients who are adapting to the shifting, constantly changing legal and regulatory landscape. Collaboration with other departments. Corporate law, like most areas of law, doesn't operate in isolation. Lawyers often collaborate with various legal departments, such as tax law, intellectual property, employment law, antitrust and competition law. Regarding tax lawyers often assist in structuring deals to optimize tax efficiency, especially during mergers or acquisitions. Regarding intellectual property, IP lawyers ensure that valuable intellectual assets like patents, and trademarks are protected and transferred correctly in a transaction. Employment law. Employment specialists manage issues related to employee rights, benefits, and redundancies, which are typical in a merger, which corporate lawyers often deal with. Regarding antitrust and competition law, for large mergers, competition lawyers assess the deal's impact on the market to prevent monopolies and ensure regulatory approval. Each area plays a critical role, contributing specific insights that are necessary to navigate complex transactions successfully. For corporate lawyers, working seamlessly with these specialists ensures that each transaction complies with the relevant laws and serves the client's best interests. Conclusion. Tonight, you've gained insight into corporate law, a field rich with complexity and essential for the business world. You've learned about the role of corporate lawyers, the regulations they navigate, the trends shaping the future, and the importance of collaboration across legal fields. Corporate law, with its focus on governance, ethics, and strategy, underscores the vital role lawyers play in ensuring that companies thrive within legal frameworks. As we finish up, remember that this episode is not legal advice. It's just here to help you learn legal English while you fall asleep. Now, as you settle deeper into relaxation, let these details gently fade away. The world of corporate law is there, humming quietly in the background as you drift off into a peaceful sleep. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'll see you again soon for another journey into the world of legal English. Good night.